What if I told you that most toddler tantrums are actually preventable? Not all of them, toddlers are toddlers, but a significant number of the meltdowns happening in your house right now. There were signs before they started, and there are things you can do before the screaming, before the floor collapse, before the afternoon gets sideways. That changes the outcome completely. I'm not talking about magic. I'm talking about understanding how your toddler's brain and body work, and then getting ahead of the moment instead of just reacting to it. Today, I'm walking you through toddler tantrum prevention, what to watch for, what to do before things escalate, and how to build a daily environment where big meltdowns happen a whole lot less. I'm Tara, I'm a doctor of physical therapy, and I have a master's in education, and I own a pediatric therapy clinic where I work with toddlers and their families every single day. Tantrum prevention is something I talk about constantly because once parents understand it, everything shifts. Before we jump in, make sure you're following or subscribed so you don't miss more pediatric therapy tips and real life strategies to help you support your child at home. Here's the thing, most parenting advice gets backwards. We spend so much energy on what to do during a tantrum, how to respond, what to say, how to stay calm, and that matters, yes. But if we only focus on the reaction, we're always playing defense. Prevention is offense, and it's where the real change happens. Think about it this way. Your toddler's brain has a stress response system. It's called the fight or flight response, and it kicks in when they feel overwhelmed, frustrated, scared, or out of control. Once that system is fully activated, the thinking brain essentially goes offline. Your toddler cannot hear you, cannot process instructions, cannot learn anything in that moment. That window before the stress response fully fires is where you have the most power. When you catch your toddler in the early stages of frustration, when you set up their day to minimize overwhelm, when you meet their needs before they become urgent, you are literally preventing the brain from going into full-blown crisis mode. Fewer tantrums, calmer days, a child who is slowly but surely building better emotional regulation skills. That's what we're building today. The first step in tantrum prevention is knowing your child's specific triggers because every toddler is different and the patterns are there if you know what to look for. I want you to think about the last 3 or 4 big meltdowns your toddler had, and I want you to ask yourself these questions. What time of day did it happen? A lot of tantrums cluster around the same time, late morning, before lunch or nap time, or that late afternoon window around 4 or 5 p.m. when everyone is running on empty. What was happening right before? Was there a transition? Were they asked to stop something that they loved? Were they in a loud, busy environment? Had they been sitting still for a long period of time? What physical state were they in? Were they hungry? Were they tired? Had they been inside all day with no physical movement? What you're looking for is patterns, because once you see the pattern, you can interrupt it before it becomes a meltdown. In my world, we use something called the ABCs of behavior. The antecedent, the behavior, and the consequence. The antecedent is what happened right before. Most parents focus on the behavior and the consequence, but tantrum prevention lives in the antecedent. What set it off, and can we change that? Here's your homework after this video. Keep a simple mental note or even a note in your phone of when tantrums happen and what came right before it. 3 to 5 days of that data will tell you so much about your child. Now, let me walk you through what I call the big 4. The most common underlying triggers for toddler tantrums. Most meltdowns trace back to at least one of these. So let's get into it. Number 1, hunger and blood sugar drops. I know this sounds basic, but you would be amazed at how many tantrums are really just a hungry toddler. Toddlers have tiny stomachs and very, very fast metabolism. Their blood sugar drops quickly, and when it does, their emotional regulation goes right with it. Sound familiar? We call it being hangry in adults, and in toddlers, it looks like a full-blown meltdown. The fix is simple, but easy to forget. Regular snacks, predictable meal times, and never heading into a big activity or an errand on an empty stomach. Before you leave the house, before a nap transition, before a busy afternoon, make sure they have eaten. Number 2 is fatigue. Tired toddlers are tantrum machines. And the tricky thing is that overtired toddlers often look wired. They get silly, hyperactive, extra emotional right before they crash. Protecting sleep and rest is tantrum prevention. That means guarding nap time, keeping bedtime consistent, and watching for tired cues. Eye rubbing, clinginess, loss of interest in play, getting very clumsy. If you know your child is running low on sleep, lower your expectations for that day and increase your grace. That's not giving up, it is just smart parenting. Number 3 is sensory overwhelm. This one doesn't get talked about enough. Toddlers are sensory beings. Their nervous systems are still learning how to process sound, light, touch, movement, crowds, and stimulation. A busy grocery store, a loud birthday party, a long car ride followed by an errand. These environments can fill up a toddler's sensory tank very, very fast. And when that tank is full, a tiny additional stressor triggers a massive response. Watch for signs your child is getting overstimulated, covering their ears, being clingy or whiny, seeking to hide or burrow into you, getting increasingly silly or frantic. Those are early warning signs that that tank is getting very full. Prevention here looks like limiting back-to-back stimulating activities, building in some quiet time, giving your toddler a sensory break during busy days, and prepping them before overwhelming environments. All right, so let's get to number 4. Number 4 is loss of control and unmet need for autonomy, right? Toddlers are in developmental stage of wanting independence. Me do it. It is basically their motto. When they feel like they have zero say in what is happening to them, their frustration builds very, very fast. And here's the thing, we can't give toddlers control of everything, but we can give them control over something. And that little bit of choice and autonomy, it dramatically reduces resistance. We'll talk more about this in the strategy section, but just know when your toddler is pushing hard back, ask yourself, have they had any choices today? Any moments where they've gotten to lead? Sometimes the answer is no, and that's the trigger. Okay, now let's talk about what you can actually do. These are the proactive strategies, the things you put into place before a tantrum even starts. Strategy 1 is to build a predictable routine. Toddlers feel safest when they know what comes next. Unpredictability is stressful to a developing nervous system. When they can predict the sequence of their day, they feel in control, even when they're not in charge. You don't need a rigid military schedule, you need a predictable rhythm, right? Let's wake up, eat breakfast, play, snack, outing or activity, lunch, nap time, snack, play, dinner, bath, and bed. A consistent flow that their brain can anticipate. And narrate as you go. After breakfast, we're gonna go get dressed, and then we're going to the park. The little preview prepares their brain for what is coming next. Strategy 2 is watch the clock and protect the danger zones, right? So every toddler has their window, that time of day when they are most fragile. For most toddlers, it's late morning, right before lunch or nap time, and late afternoon around 4 or 5 p.m. Do not schedule hard things during the danger zones, right? Don't run errands at 4:30. Don't start a complicated craft project right before nap time. Don't try and leave a fun place at peak tired time without a plan. Instead, protect those windows. Have a snack ready. Lower stimulation. Move toward calm, familiar activities. Give extra connection during those times. Strategy 3 is fill their connection cup first. This one is counterintuitive, but powerful. Toddlers who feel connected to their caregiver have more emotional resilience. They can handle frustration better. They can cooperate more. Even 10 to 15 minutes of fully present, child-led play in the morning, phone down, following their lead, no agenda, fills their connection cup in a way that carries them throughout their day. When connection is low, challenging behaviors go up. When connection is high, you have cooperation, more flexibility, more willingness to handle hard things. It doesn't take hours, it just takes your presence. And strategy number 4, give choices before resistance starts. Don't wait for your toddler to dig in and refuse. Get ahead of it, offering choices before the conflict even begins. Not, do you want to get dressed? That's a yes or no invitation for a battle. Instead, do you want to wear your dinosaur shirt today or your red shirt? Do you want to brush your teeth before or after you pick up your pajamas? Do you want to walk to the car or do you want to bunny hop to the car? You're not giving up control, you're choosing what choices they get to make. Both options lead to the same outcome. But your toddler feels agency, and that prevents the resistance from starting. Strategy number 5, catch it early, respond to the warning signs. This may be the most important strategy. Tantrums have a build-up phase. There are almost always early warning signs before things fully escalate. And if you can catch it there, you can de-escalate it before the storm. Early warning signs look like increased whining, clinginess, picky behavior, asking for things repeatedly, getting physically clumsy or bumping into things, becoming very silly or loud. When you see those signs, that's your moment to intervene before the emotional brain takes over completely. What do you do in the moment? Get close to them, get low, make eye contact, and lower your voice. Offer connection. Hey, come here. What do you need right now? Give a snack, offer a change of scenery, provide a sensory reset, maybe going outside or giving them a big squeeze and hug, putting on a calming song. You are essentially helping their nervous system regulate before it spins out of control. That's co-regulation, and it works. Strategy number 6 is teach the skills in a calm moment. Prevention always means building skills before they are needed. If you only try to teach your toddler coping skills in the middle of a full meltdown, it will not stick. Their brain can't learn when it is in crisis mode. But in calm moments, during play, during story time, during a quiet afternoon, you can practice. What do we do when we feel mad? And practice stomping feet or taking deep breaths together. Read books about feelings and talk about what the characters do. Use social stories to walk through tricky scenarios before they happen. Role play situations that have been hard, leaving the park, sharing a toy, not getting what they want in the store. The more practice in low stress moments, the more access that they have to those skills when they do get hard or when they are melting down. You are literally building new brain pathways. That's not a metaphor. That is actually what is happening in the brain. Now, I want to be honest with you. Even when you do everything right, routine, choices, early warning response, full connection cut, sometimes a tantrum happens anyways. Because toddlers are human. They also have hard days. They also get sick. They sleep badly. They hit developmental leaps where everything is harder for a while. Life is unpredictable, and so are kids. Prevention does not mean elimination, unfortunately. It means reduction. It means you have more good days than hard days. It means the meltdowns are shorter and less frequent over time. And when a tantrum does happen, stay regulated, stay close, keep your voice soft, wait for the storm to pass, and then reconnect. Don't lecture, don't punish, just reconnect. After things are fully calm, not right away, but later, that's your moment to revisit what happened. Get on their level, name what you saw, and walk through what to do differently next time. That's the H in the teach method. Help them practice. Progress over perfection, always. Let me leave you with this. Tantrum prevention isn't about controlling your toddler. It's about understanding them, understanding how their brain works, what their body needs, and what they're trying to communicate when words aren't there yet. When you get ahead of the meltdown, you're not just preventing a hard moment. You're teaching your toddler what it feels like to be regulated, to be seen, to have their needs met before they boil over. That's how emotional regulation gets built. It gets built slowly and over time through hundreds of these moments happening. You are doing that for your child every single day. And if you want more of this, a full guide to toddler behavior that breaks down why kids hit, why they bite, tantrum, meltdown, and gives you real scripts and strategies you can use right now. I have a free toddler behavior survival guide just for you. This isn't generic parenting advice. It's actually based on real developmental principles, and it's designed for really busy parents who need something that actually works. Go grab it. The link is in the show notes. I'll see you in the next one.